Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tea Time with Tricia and Jeff. Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome. Hello.
So today we are drinking, Jeff chose the tea. What are we drinking today?
Lemon ginger.
Lemon ginger.
This is from the brand is Yogi, and it's a lemon ginger. It's as simple as that.
Very nice. That's great. So we're back here again this week because we just wanted to share what we do holistically every day to help improve our health. So daily, weekly, and some of the things that we do with our lives just to improve our health overall. So let's start. Jeff, what have you been up to this past week? Anything new and exciting?
For fitness?
For anything. And did you start anything new? Not really.
No, I recorded I recorded a couple classes this week for the online channel. I recorded a flowing meditation and a strength class. So two very different styles of class, when both short. I think they're each 16 minutes. So yeah, the flowing meditation is certainly a working in exercise or program or class, and then the strength training is certainly a workout class. So I can talk more about that later if you want, or now, whatever working in and working out is. But
let's talk about it now. Working out versus working in. What is the difference? What's the
well, essentially the difference is the energy that is consumed or used or created, right? So we work out, we put a stress on your body. If you're doing like a workout with lifting bicep curls, for example, you're putting a stress on the muscle, which is great because you want that muscle to become whatever it is your intention is, stronger, more endurance, or more whatever it might be, or relation to your sport, which is great. Assuming that you're doing things well, that you can recover well, and then you actually rebuild a stronger, better bicep. So, but if you're, as we're recording this, Halloween was last night. So yeah, I mean, if you eat a ton of candy, that's not going to help you build a bigger, better, stronger bicep. It's going to be a slow process versus if you eat good quality food. Anyway, rant. Back to the working out versus working in. So working in is working at a very slow tempo through any movement, such as walking, where your respiration rate and your heart rate stay at their baseline or at their normal. So when you're working out, right, you're not going to notice your heart rate rise or your respiration rate rise. You're breathing heavier. Versus working in, you can walk gently, smoothly, and not have an elevation of those things. And in that, it's the plesio, I believe that's the proper pronunciation of that word, plesio electric effect on the body, meaning that as you're breathing in, the electric charge of the breath in with the pumping of your heart creates energy. Right? This is how we continue to live and continue to work, is through the breathing and the moving of the body and moving of the muscle tissues enhances that effect a little bit more. But certainly if you're working out, you're using up as much or more than what you're creating.
Right.
So when you're moving like a flowing meditation, you're just moving super slow and coupled with that deep belly breathing, you're getting lots of oxygen in, and then through that energy potential is created, and then you have far more energy for working to do whatever it is that you're doing. So it's important then just to be aware of, this is why when we say in our 8 essentials to vitality, move often based on your energy needs. So yeah, if you're totally taxed and tired out, then probably a gentle yoga or a stretch or a walk or a floating meditation, a work in exercise is far more valuable in getting you going for your day or in your day. Versus if you wake up totally lethargic and you just push yourself to go to a heavy lifting workout, you're going to tax your system and create more cortisol that your body just isn't quite handling. And the results of that workout are probably going to be minimal and not that best. So choosing when to work out and when to work in is good. So that's why we're looking for on that online on-demand channels to give you a variety of choices so that you can accommodate your needs. If you need or want and you're ready to go for a tough workout, you do it. Or if you need a nice work in to calm and bring more energy into the body so you can work out maybe later that day or tomorrow, well, then it's there for you. There's your workout versus work in.
So question, so we don't need to worry about, I need to do this many workouts a week and this many workouts a week. It's mainly about tapping into your own body, what it's telling you, your energy, and using that intuition and then deciding for yourself. We could spend maybe months in just doing some working in activities if that's what our body is telling us to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. If you're, you're just paying attention to your body's needs, not what your brain is saying, I gotta work out, I gotta do this. It's what is your body telling you. If you're working out and you're finding you're injured all the time, or you can't recover from your workout, or you're lethargic and tired after your workouts, then your body's trying to say like, hey, hello, tone it down. We need more energy here. And there's lots of other reasons that suck away your energy, right? With nutrition and all of that. So basically it's paying attention and then just honoring what your body's saying to you. And that may take some practice if you're not used to doing that, but there are clues, right? If you're tired, injured, then it's probably a sign.
Not recovering from your workout.
Not recovering from your workout. Yeah. Like if the muscles are just sore, or you don't feel like you're making improvements in your workout. Like, if you're lifting a bicep or chest pressing, you're doing, let's say 3 sets, and on set 1 workout A, you do 20 pounds in set 1 for 12 reps, and then you got to reduce it because your fatigue factor is a little bit less than set 2 and a little bit less than set 3. But if you're recovering well and you're working it well from the workouts, ideally, every few workouts, you may notice, I can complete 10 reps on set 1 with that weight, but I feel like I could have done 13, 14, 15, 16 reps, that there's an improvement that's noticeable. Then you're making gains, right? But if you're just staying in the same spot, there could be a few other factors in there, but typically it's a matter of not managing your energy well, or setting yourself up for good recovery from the workout.
So let's chat a little bit just about the website. So those 2 new programs you put up, one is a strength training workout. So you could purchase that workout itself, right? Or you could purchase the strength training bundle and have that for a month. If you purchase the workout on its own, then you have access to it for a few days. Or you could get the bundle, or if you get the all access pass, then you get all of those things. Question, can you get the flowing meditation on its own for a couple of days as well?
It's in the bonus. We have a bonus channel, which is all the other classes, like the gentle stretching, the Pilates, the core workouts, the flowing meditation.
So we need to.
There's a few others in there, but there's a separate channel just for that. Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking, can the flowing meditation that you just uploaded, can somebody just go and purchase that for a couple of days?
Yeah, you can rent it. A 48-hour rental. Yeah, you can rent it just to see what it's like for you, if it suits you. Or if you're already into the all access pass. I know some folks are already, then you got it right now. But you're anyway, there's options.
Well, that's good.
What would you do for workouts this week?
What did I do for workouts?
Or did you do workouts?
I did my walking that I do, and I did a couple of yoga classes. Yes, that's what I did this week. So I kept it kind of low key, listening to my body, and that seems to be what I've been doing since September. Gonna go do a few more workouts this week. So I've just did a TRX workout. TRX, or I guess I should call it a suspension training system workout. So wonderful thing to have if you wanted to invest in the piece of equipment is this suspension training, where you hang it. You can hang it indoors. We have ours hanging from a tree outside. So, whenever I'm done my walk, some days I'll go over and I'll just do a little bit of a workout. So I don't know how to explain it. It's basically like rings, rings in gymnastics that are hanging down. That's something similar, but instead of rings, you have handles. So you can do like pull-ups, you can do chest press, you can do bicep curls, you can do squats, lunges, all of this stuff, but you're holding on to this suspension system. So I love the suspension system. I think it's great, and it's so convenient because it's hanging from our tree. Now, in terms of aesthetics, maybe, you don't want that hanging from your tree, But that's us. That's what we like. We like having that stuff hanging from the tree because then it's like, oh, there it is. I'm gonna go do it. So
yeah, and it's convenient, and it's
so
out,
convenient.
outside, so
Yeah.
you're getting fresh air at the same time, and outside for
Mhm.
the bonus of that as well.
Mhm.
And if you're willing, you could train in barefoot or
Yeah.
moccasins, so you can
Moccasins.
get some grounding with the earth while
Yeah.
you're unless it's over a cement pad. But
Yeah.
then we're just saying, well, even through a cement pad, you're gonna have some grounding effect. But if you're
Mhm.
in contact with Mother Earth, you get that bonus as well. You
Yeah.
ground and lose some of that negativity, negative ions out of the body
Mhm.
as you're doing it. And yeah, so basically that suspension trainer works with your body weight, right? So depending on the
body
angle,
weight.
if you
Mhm.
lean more back, if that's my head, and you're leaning back to do a pull up, you're moving or lifting a greater percentage of your body weight, makes it harder. If you stand more upright to start from whatever angle you're working at, you work with the percentage of your body weight. So
Mhm. Yeah, so you can change the angle of your feet, or you can adjust the straps to make it
Yeah.
more. So anyway,
very,
it's
very versatile.
yeah, it's great.
But
Yeah.
if you make sure you're anchored in a nice, sturdy,
Yes.
strong big
Mhm.
tree, you're not putting it in a little spindly tree that you're
Yeah.
gonna hurt and wreck the tree
Yeah.
or hurt yourself because you broke the tree and fell over. But
Mhm.
get a
Mhm.
strong, big old tree
Yeah.
and then say sorry after you screwed a big bolt through it. But anyway,
Mhm.
go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's all I was gonna say. I was gonna say, speaking of outdoors, that's one thing that I did yesterday was I planted garlic in our garden.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for that, to have that out. I haven't planted garlic before, but my garden does really good with root type vegetables. So anything that is a root, it does well. So I'm trying to focus next year on just planting root type vegetables, onions and carrots and parsnips and potatoes, rutabaga and turnips and beets, all of that stuff. So yeah, I got started. So I'm kind of excited about that. Hopefully it comes up next year because we do use garlic quite a bit in our cooking, and really good for your immune system. So as we head into these winter months, I'm going to be trying to cook with fresh garlic more and more and more, just to help kind of boost those immune properties of garlic. And then you are working on moving the chickens closer.
Yeah, the mobile chicken coop has been out in the back of the yard all summer, tucked between a row of trees where it gives them it kind of hides the chicken coop, and at the same time it offers them some shade if they're in that space. We leave our hens in there till mid-morning just to kind of make sure they lay their eggs. I can't remember if I've said this. They lay their eggs in the coop, so they're easy to find.
Mhm.
We found if we leave them totally free ranging all the time, like then they end up laying like under the trees over there and under the rhubarb patch over here, and you lose the eggs. And then like 2 weeks later, you find like, oh wow, there's a stash of like 12 eggs.
Mhm. Are they good? Are they bad? I don't know.
Yeah, at that point, I don't know. So yeah, we leave them in, so we kind of know that they generally all the ladies have laid by that mid-morning. Then we open the door and
All
they
the
have the
ladies.
whole yard to free range through and from. So yeah, but now as winter's coming and it's getting colder, well, there's one interesting tip too. The hens need a certain amount of light stimulation, about 12 hours of light stimulation to continue their laying process. So about a few weeks back, we have a light bulb that goes on in the coop, but it's on a timer, so it just adds on an hour, sunrise and sunset before the bulb comes on and after, just to make sure that you get that 12-hour window of light exposure, and then they continue laying. So we're grateful for that they do continue to lay throughout the winter. But yes, as winter comes, it gets cold. We wheel the coop closer and closer to this this shed that we've got, and we tuck the coop right inside there, so it's all closed in. They then are protected from the elements. There's no snow on them, and then the coop is protected 3 out of 4 directions from wind. But I hesitate to put them in there too soon because we have like bikes and lawnmowers and stuff, which I cover with tarps, but it's just a barn, a shed with a dirt floor, right? But the chickens take a dirt bath daily.
Yes.
Like they get in the dirt and they shuffle around and they use that to clean themselves up, which is great. But then because they generate so much dust, it gets on everything, right? Like onto your bikes, into the gears on the bikes. So we cover it. We cover all that stuff up with tarps, but still the dust tends to find a way under. So we wait until it's really cold. But anyway, it's in the process of being moved closer and closer and closer, because if you move it all one big swath from the back of the yard all the way into the shed, then they kind of like They're like, what just happened?
Yeah,
Their world
yeah.
is totally turned upside down and they don't know where to go. I've seen them, we've tried that before, right? And then they'll go back and sit by the trees like they're looking around, where's the coop? Where, like, even though they may have been like picking bugs all day and been walking right around the coop at the new location, but anyway, so we move it a few feet a week basically. And anyway, so they're on their way in.
Nice. What else happened this week? I had so we had a birthday this past week for Foster, our youngest, and so he had a friend's party and then he has a family party. So he wanted these sticky buns, which something that we usually have at Christmas. He wanted these sticky buns for his birthday. So my mom usually makes them, grandma's wonderful cooking. So I got her recipe and I was like, okay, this is my mission, is always to see, okay, what is the original recipe and how can I change it to make it just, have a few more vitamins and minerals in it and maybe just have a little bit, make it just a little bit healthier without anybody knowing. So usually it's made with like some store-bought dough, but I made my own dough. So I used 100% organic flour. I used one of our eggs. I used almond milk. I used organic butter and some Himalayan salt. So I know everything that's going into this dough is good quality ingredients. So I made the dough, and then once the dough was done, I made little balls and put it in the bun pan. And then the rest of the recipe called for a 1/4 cup of vanilla pudding mix, which I was not going to put in because, well, you can look at the ingredients and see for yourself, but it wasn't on my radar. But it called for brown sugar and butter. So you kind of sprinkle this on it and bake it in the oven. So instead of brown sugar, I used coconut palm sugar. And I like using coconut palm sugar. It has a very similar taste to brown sugar, a little bit of a caramel flavor, but it's lower on the glycemic index. So it's not going to spike our blood sugar as much as a brown sugar would. And then I also used organic butter, so melted organic butter, and put that over top, and then bake them in the oven. And it was a 2 thumbs up. Everybody really liked it. Everybody ate them up. It was good. Everyone really liked them. Lots of good compliments. And I don't know if he's watching, but my mom's partner is very, he's got super taste sensors. So he knows if you've done anything to like change different sugar, different flour, he can pick up all of that. And he was eating one and he said, this is really good. He's like, wow, this is really good. And he said it a couple of times. And I'm like, oh, he didn't even know that I changed it. So, I mean, still sugar, still flour, but at least making that one step to make it a little bit healthier, ingredients there.
And overall, was it less sugar in the dough?
That I don't know. I'm not sure because I don't know what they would have in the other one. But yeah. So anyway, that was a hit. That was good. So I think I'm gonna keep that recipe and my new recipe, and I'll write it out. And it's very easy. It's something that the kids could make themselves too if they feel like they needed a treat, because it was quite simple to make. So yeah, that was good. And then I'm still doing my sourdough. So I made another loaf of sourdough for the party as well. Knocked it out of the park. It was so good. Jeff just finished up the last of it today. So I'll be back in the kitchen again, feeding my starter and making another loaf likely tomorrow, and then bake it on Wednesday. So it is a bit of a process, a little bit of a planning process, but I like it. It's good. It's all made with love. So, what are you reading? What are we reading?
Well, let's do that. I'm going to do this one first.
Okay.
This book is called I Am Love, subtitled A Book of Compassion. I often browse our local library or online for the local library for the kids' books. For stuff like this, about love or about compassion or about empathy, and you wonder, like, why am I getting a kid's book? Because it's so basic and it's just so simple is why I like them, because it's just the basic message, right? You just get the message of what love might be, or how you might be able to use love to change a situation. And it's just like, you can take 10 minutes and read that, and I find I get totally uplifted by reading a book like this, and then I leave it out purposely, trying to get the kids at least to look at it or ask a question about it. When they were younger, I would have certainly read these kinds of books to them often, just exposing them to a nice simple message about love or compassion or friendship or truthfulness or honesty or any of those kinds of concepts. But yeah, they're a little bit older, so they read on their own, and they don't really want dad reading kids books to them anymore. But I still get kids books for myself. And this author, there's this one, I Am Love, and then she also has one that's called I Am Human and I Am Peace, which I've ordered from the library. So I'll be looking at those. But that's, like I say, that's just a 10-minute read. The other one that is quite interesting is Two Old Women, and this is lent to us by a good friend. And what you've read, Tricia read the whole book first, and I'm 3/4 toward the end. It's not a terribly big book, but it's just a simple little message or story. So it's about Indigenous people, and the two old women then are basically the eldest female tribe members, and they're heading into a winter where it's becoming very cold, and the women are
burdensome
or deemed burdensome because they're sitting around and just talking about their aching joints and not doing much, and using walking sticks, and not really able to contribute to the tribe. And so yeah, the tribe basically has to carry them around or move them around and get extra food to feed them and help them. So a big hard decision is made that the two women are left behind by the tribe on their own, and the tribe leaves, and they're left with only a couple of simple supplies. But yeah, to see how, well, I guess my interpretation is the mindset that's there.
Yes.
In the women, in that as they're stuck and isolated and alone and barren and exposed and basically in danger, right, of starvation and the cold, all the things they learned in their youth, all the skills that they learned in their youth, all the talents that they have, they use the power of their mind, right? They get up with their achy knees and their sore backs, and they get moving and they get going, and then they're able to catch a rabbit, and they're able to dig into the snow to make a burrow or to make a shelter. So basically, I haven't finished it, but for me, the message is basically, at any age, you have the potential to take responsibility for yourself and look after yourself, or feed yourself, or protect yourself, or do what needs to get done. But if you get complacent and you sit around and don't put much into it, then it could lead into trouble. So I don't know what your take is on the story. And if you give away the ending, that's okay. I'm almost there. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, it was yeah, just exactly what you said. Like they had all the skills necessary. They could still contribute to their group. They just had chose not to, or people had kind of catered to them, so they didn't have to. But they did have the power within themselves to rise above that, and they realized that they had to in order to survive. But once they started doing it, they really realized that. Yeah, why did we act that way, and why did we make ourselves burdens when we have so much to offer? So yeah, it was a really, really great story. I won't spoil the ending for you.
All right,
but yeah,
I'll read the last little bit. Maybe next time we'll share the ending with you.
Yeah. So I think that was it. I was going to talk a little bit about my struggles the past week, feeling very unmotivated, very deflated. Could be a lot of reasons, right? We've got the change in the weather, we've got the change in the seasons, the daylight is getting shorter, and not stress. Whenever I get stressed, I know if my stress is too much, my eye starts to twitch. So it wasn't stress at all. It was just mainly deflated. I think that's the word, that is deflated, unmotivated. So I had some things going on the weekend, so I need to, do some things this week to help myself out. So that is going to be my focus this week. I'm going to make sure that my nutrition is dialed in, and also I'm going to make sure that I'm taking my supplements. I take supplements, but sometimes I take them, sometimes I don't. So I need to make sure that I'm taking those important ones for my mental health, like C and B, and I've got a couple of adrenal gland support supplements. So I'm going to make sure that I'm taking those daily as well to help out. I've cut back on my workload this week. I've decided not to do as much. I do have a program that's launching today, but I will absolutely 100% support those clients, ladies in that group. But I'm not going to take on too much more this week, reduce my workload, do a lot of focus on myself. I'm going to try to exercise a little bit more vigorously, because vigorously, is that the word? I'm not sure. More intensely, I think, than just the yoga and the walking. I'm going to try to do a Zumba class. And like I said, I did a little strength training workout this morning, because exercise fights depression. Not saying that that's what I'm in, but just it's going to lift my mood for sure. So making sure I get that exercise in and just take some time to focus on myself this week. I'm going to book in an energy medicine session with Jeff, see if he can kind of help clear some of those chakras if they're blocked, or clear any of those energy lines as well. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to focus on this week. So hopefully in a week or two time, I'm back up to my normal feeling self. So
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think that's it. So, have a good week, everyone. And cheers. We'll see you.
Cheers.
We'll see you next week on Tea Time with Tricia and Jeff.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.